Welcome back to Gravity Rush, Episode 6.
Ooh, how are you
Separate
moving
tables.
How-
Motion controls.
Oh, okay.
Separate tables? What? What tables? Why are they separate? Is this a funny episode, or is it like a soap opera episode? That sounds like a soap opera episode.
I forget. It's been a long time since I played this
This
game.
lady looks like a soap opera character.
Yeah, well, we're in the rich hoity-toity part of the world, which is the highest tier of area.
Ah,
So you fly up to get to this area.
ah.
Look at this jazzy music playing in the background.
No, the music in this game is great.
Oh, it's kind of hard to hear, like, the melodies when we're doing commentary on it, but it has sounded very nice from the bits I have been able to pick up.
Wait, is
Yeah, there was genuine effort put into this game.
Sid
Oh, I'm sure there was.
is Sid having you run errands for this lady to get in her good graces?
Probably.
I think so.
Oh no.
But yeah, like in the upper tier of class, like everyone has their own little private island house thing.
Yeah, that sounds accurate.
You could have gone around the tree.
Just surf up a
No.
tree and launch up. Sure. We were talking about Sonic the Hedgehog last part, right? That's a Sonic move.
I thought you were gonna drop kick the kid. This looks like the right one.
Dynamic and tree.
Invitation incoming.
Spider-Man, get my balloon.
Oh no.
Oh my god, you actually do have to get the balloon.
Yes. Spider-Man, I want my balloon.
Spider-Man, get my balloon, Spider-Man!
Cat.
I'm trying to follow Kingpin here, kid.
Spider-Man, this balloon is important!
Cat is just so like used to.
I missed.
Cat is just like so used to doing random bullshit for people that she didn't even bother landing. She just like hovered there talking to them and then immediately somersaulted out into the air the moment she had to do the next quest step.
Did you guys ever play Roller Coaster Tycoon?
Yes.
No.
Did you ever pop the balloons in Roller Coaster Tycoon?
No, what happens there?
No, nothing. You pop the people's balloons. Like, they'll buy balloons from the stands, and then you can pop them to be a dick. That's it.
Do they then go and buy more balloons?
They might. I think they also get pissed off, too. Because, like, everybody in the park in Roller Coaster Tycoon has, like, a generated name and, like, personality.
Oh, so it's kind of
and
like
stuff.
Jurassic Park Operation Genesis did a similar thing.
I
Yeah.
mean, they're the same game, basically.
Yeah, so, like, there are, a person will be randomly generated, and it's just like, this person is male.
Yeah,
will
you
buy
can, like, zoom in
stuffed
on
animals
them.
and doesn't like thrill rides or something like that.
Yeah, so you can just zoom in on them and check a stat sheet that tells you a bit about that particular customer.
Yeah, it's just one of the charming things about the
Yeah,
game.
I mean wait, what?
Yeah, so if you're like me, you look at what every individual person walking into the park likes, and then you immediately pick them up and drop them in front of the ride that they're most likely to ride on. And then that is how you very tediously get your park up to maximum rating. Or if you want to be a dick in that one mission, you can have your roller coaster launch into the competing park so that when the people die, they technically die in the other person's
In the other park.
And so they're the ones who lose the points and not you.
Yeah, that's almost as good as Gandhi's underflow mechanic
Eh.
in Civilization.
Oh,
Yeah.
where like something about the variables glitches out and he just becomes super aggressive.
Yeah,
No, it's more that his peaceful / aggression stat is naturally set to lowest in the game because he's Gandhi and all that. But you can make him so peaceful that the value underflows, and swerves back around to being the most aggressive possible.
That's what
Which
I mean.
is that's why people bring up the like
God,
Gandhi
he likes
randomly
nukes.
just drops a nuke on you for no reason. Yeah. I mean, when I played The Sims growing up, I never really like dropped them into the pool with no ladder or set them on fire or anything, but I was a monster in Roller Coaster Tycoon. I would drop people into the lake all the time if they wouldn't buy my things. So, why is this girl dressed like Catherine from Catherine?
Which Catherine?
Catherine.
Oh, that Catherine.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. Did she just say Hadouken?
It did sort of sound like that through the headphones, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't. I'm like 90% sure it wasn't. Man, the people in this upper atmosphere place are like unlikable as hell, and it's beautiful.
I mean, they're supposed to be.
and it's beautiful.
Yep. Flying.
That is a big house.
Wonder what he's got in there.
Ghosts to vacuum up, I hope. I can't wait for Luigi's Mansion 4 now. 3 was good.
Well, at the rate they come out, it'll probably be another console and a
Decade,
half.
yeah.
Did they release the DLC for it yet?
No, but that's multiplayer only, so I don't care.
I mean, at least it's something. It's some amount of effort into keeping the game alive post.
Yeah, it's just one of those. It'd be weird to add story DLC considering how the game ended, but adding multiplayer DLC to a game no one's going to play multiplayer for just seems kind of pointless.
I mean, I also think that just due to the structure of the game, DLC would have made a little bit more sense in like Luigi's Mansion 2, where the game was already split up into different houses.
I wouldn't say that no one would play Luigi's Mansion 3 in multiplayer, but it's such a...
You play it for like 20 to 30 minutes and then
Well,
you're done with it forever.
it depends, because when I was growing up on GameCube, I played the multiplayer for a bunch of games that a lot of people would say, you know, you'd never play, and played them a lot. Like Sonic Adventure 2, for example, I would say has very good multiplayer, even though maybe if you were just looking at it from a glance, you'd say, oh, nobody would play that. And, you know, other games like Billy Hatcher, I actually think has surprisingly decent multiplayer, considering that it's a surprisingly less than decent game. And there are a few other
I think you
examples
just
as well,
pissed off half our audience by saying that.
that Billy Hatcher was not a great game.
Well, I mean, like, I agree with you, but there are tons of people who seem to think it's, like, really, really good.
No, I think there's only 3 of them. They're really loud.
Yeah, it's... I mean... Like,
Not that I'm actively looking for it, but I don't hear anybody talk about Billy Hatcher.
like, the first level's fine.
It's a game that exists.
Yeah.
It's
very
not
much so.
terrible, but it's you can do a lot better, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, like no doubt. Like if a sequel to ever get announced, like I'm pretty sure people would be excited for it. But then at the same time, it's also only like 50 people.
Yeah, it's, you know, it. I certainly appreciated them trying something different, I guess is the thing, you know. It was a interesting idea. I'll put it that way. And I appreciate them flexing their creative muscles.
I wonder if anyone watching Cat jump off one level to go down to one of the lower levels would be like, no, you've got so much to live for. Or something
You see,
along
I'm-
those lines, because it does kind of look...
graphics?
It does kind of look like she just gave up.
Okay, so I'm looking at the flight in this game, and I'm wondering why they can't make a Superman game work. Like,
Because this technically isn't flying.
I mean, yeah, technically. But what we've been doing for the past, like, 4 parts, maybe more, is, like, what I would want in a Superman game. You know, like, open world, fly around Metropolis, and do random shit.
Well, apart from, like... Well, I suppose some of these stories would work in the Silver Age.
Well, I mean, yeah, like, I think a Superman game would definitely work much better if they made it more lighthearted than, like a Batman. Because I feel like Superman doesn't work nearly as well when you're trying to be cynical with him at all, which is why the DCEU has failed on Superman in almost every capacity. So, and Superman absolutely is the kind of character who would stop what he's doing to get the balloon. Like, of course he would, because he's Superman. So, just do this, but with Superman, and it would probably be a very good game.
As much as I would like to see a Superman game come to fruition, well, a good one at that, I just think he's ultimately limited by just how.
Well, that's why you don't
overpowered
make
he
the
is,
game
the
about
concept.
combat, is what I would say.
Right.
That's
I mean,
part of the appeal, though, being Superman, being able to plow through buildings and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
But, I mean, yeah, I guess, but I don't think... I mean, obviously you would have combat during certain points, but I don't think that combat needs to be the focus, I think that you could use the Superman powers in more interesting ways, like...
Yeah, the question, the real question
like
is,
that.
if you were to make that kind of game, would the gaming community at large appreciate that design direction?
Yeah,
no,
I feel
but that
there's
doesn't
probably
necessarily mean you shouldn't do it anyway. Because
there's probably a very good reason why there hasn't been another attempt.
well,
for
that's
so many years.
mostly just. I think part of it is due to the Superman 64 stigma, where that's considered.
Yeah,
one
but
of the
at the
worst
same
games
time,
ever.
though, it's the Arkham series also debuted. Oh god, that was over 11 years ago. And that in itself demonstrated that you can make a decent superhero game if you put honest to god effort into it, which would eventually bleed out into other superheroes. Spider-Man certainly benefited
Yeah,
from
but
it.
Spider-Man also took
know?
7 years to come out after.
Exactly, but that's my point though. I feel that even by now there would have been at least another attempt. The fact that there's not,
I think it's just, you look at Superman, what he can do, and what people would want out of a game with him.
yeah,
How exactly do you make that enjoyable while also keeping him balanced to the point where you're not just God?
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying is that you do this kind of crap.
Part of-
you
But
make,
that's not what people want, though. They want
I
to feel
want that.
powerful.
that's not.
and
Yeah,
all
that's
that.
not everybody's
Yeah,
Superman.
okay,
That's the problem.
looking at the movies, though, okay, we had two attempts to bring back Superman into film. One of them was Superman Returns, and the other was of course Man of Steel. And you can talk about the flaws of Man of Steel until the cows come home, but which of the two movies actually did well? It wasn't Superman.
So are we talking
Returns.
about are you talking about reception wise or
Man of Steel financially did much better.
Man of
Yeah,
Steel,
I'm talking
yeah.
about.
Superman
I'm
Returns.
talking about like people buying into it. You
Well,
okay.
can
I
talk.
would.
You can talk critical all you like, but
Well, here's the okay. Well, I'm gonna have a counterpoint to that because while yes, Superman Returns was financially much less successful than Man of Steel. There's 2 points to this. There was a lot of hype around around Man of Steel regarding the DC Extended Universe, plus Christopher Nolan and Zack Snyder being involved. But B, which is the most important thing in regards to the reception of the movie, people didn't like Superman Returns just because they thought it was a boring movie overall. People's reaction to Man of Steel is less so much about, at least the visceral gut reaction, when you first see it. There are takes about the quality of the movie, but a lot of people's response to that was, I don't like this version of Superman. I don't
Here's
like the
the
Superman.
problem, Ted.
Yeah.
It's the same problem as the movies. People don't come out to see nice guy, happy, positive Superman, and they don't like negative Superman. So what exactly do you do with that?
Honestly,
Yeah, because if you cater to one end, then you're overly nostalgic for the Reeve days, and if you cater too hard to the other side,
I mean,
you're-
I just speaking as somebody who likes positive Superman, and also just as somebody who, Captain America is effectively, in terms of personality and tone, Marvel Superman. He doesn't have Superman's powers, but
Well, the
Yeah.
different that's the difference. He doesn't have Superman's powers, so you can make things more interesting on the combat and action.
Yeah,
front.
he's more of a grounded character in a manner of speaking.
I don't know. I personally would like a video game where you could fly around as Superman and find the little girl's balloon. Maybe I'm easily pleased. Who knows?
Yeah, but again, that can work if you're looking for that specific flavor of Superman.
The general audiences for Superman are going to want to fly through the sky and punch through walls and
Use heat vision, to
beat up
melt
Brainiac
things
and all
shit,
that.
and freeze Darkseid in the
mean,
parking lot and take him to the cops.
Maybe people who aren't as familiar with Superman, but when I hear about Superman fans talking about the best Superman comics, it's a lot of the times it's stuff like All-Star Superman or other Superman.
There's a
stories
big
that
difference
are
between
less
reading
active.
something and actively being a participant in it, though.
I mean, I guess I suppose, but I just
Yeah, because I would think that most, well, not most, but a degree of Superman fans are introduced. They come in because they see the man flying, leaping over buildings in a single bound, laser vision, bulletproof, all that sort of shit. But you stick around long enough, and you get those stories where Superman works better as an ideal, or how it's really like just how much of a good-natured soul Clark Kent is. You stay for that.
Yeah, well, that's
You know?
why I'm just thinking, if you have a game like this where you're playing as Superman, there's obviously, like, story missions and open-ended do whatever the hell you want stuff. And, like, I mean, you could have a story mission where, I was going to say Ultron, but that's not. That's Brainiac. Brainiac invades the city and you go into his ship and you beat stuff up. And that's the story mission, and in between the next story
How do you
mission,
balance the fighting, though? Because he's Superman.
Because you're Superman? Well, they're super Brainiac soldiers.
As strange as it is to think about, I think the one thing that the developers of Superman 64 had something going with in terms of justification is putting more of the city at risk rather than Superman himself. No, because I think that was
That was what they tried to do for
Returns
the Superman
game,
Returns
right?
game.
Superman Returns, right? Yeah. I think in a way that's how you go about it, because you can't hurt Superman without going the old natural, the kryptonite route. But see, like it's in Ted's example, bringing in Brainiac, you would spend the majority of the missions protecting the city,
Yeah,
That's-
and not so much
How
physically.
many escort/protect missions can you do before that gets
well,
kind of boring? though?
I mean, you can get creative.
Well, say like I'm gonna say like there's a group of people that's about to get swarmed by like robots. There's a person dangling from a rooftop. There's a ruptured pipe that you have to use freeze breath, all because of this invasion. There are different things you can do.
Even something as simple as a bomb will go off in 10 minutes, and if you don't finish the mission in time, people die, or something like that.
Yeah.
Or you're on Brainiac's ship in a linear action segment, and his ship will destroy the city in 10 minutes if you don't get to the
you do
laser
all
or
that.
anything. Yeah.
You do all that, and you celebrate with a climatic battle against Brainiac, and that's like the one-on-one shit.
Yeah, and then that's the boss
Oh, she's here.
fight. Is her hair... I thought her hair was red,
Now it's purple.
but it was red in the DLC.
She has
Mask.
a mask that's totally different.
So wait, our edgy alter ego side character is now being even edgier. Can we handle that?
Nightgale? Is she being brainwashed?
Yes.
And it changed the color of her hair somehow?
Yes.
Yeah, because they brain washed her hair with bleach and re-dyed it. Yeah.
Totally different. Or for all we know, we could be the Carnage to our Venom.
Can we not talk about Carnage? Because Carnage is dumb. He has always been dumb.
Aren't you
And
excited
will
about the next
always
Venom
be
movie
dumb.
that will definitely have Carnage?
Oh, I love how Venom is 100% a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, for sure.
I guess we'll talk about superheroes more next time.